Chain gangs. Working on the Chain Gang No More was an American pop song of the 1980s. Chain gangs, if you don't know, were groups of prisoners chained together and made to do hard labor common in the post slave trading US South. Norms of civilized human rights that spread in the post war world led to chain gangs being phased out by the late 1950s. Chain gangs are back. Arizona and Alabama brought back chain gangs of prison labor in the 1990s. Now, Donald Trump has okayed it to detain and deport illegal immigrants. They are sent back to their homelands in military planes with leg chains, restrained from washroom visits, and fed with just apples. Trump regime has said there will be more. Indeed, Trump is within his right to deport anyone, Indian or Indonesian, if he or she has entered his land of opportunities without valid papers. But chaining them like galley slaves and packing them like sardines in military planes, one expected the civilized world where even handcuffing of prisoners is frowned upon by courts of law to condemn it as barbaric. Strangely, there was hardly any official protest from us. 14 years ago, when about 1,500 Indian kids who had been duped into joining a cheat school called Tri Valley University were radio collared, the then foreign minister had said, there is hardly anything India can do if the US laws permit such action to track students. Fully agree. If that is the law in the US and these guys violated US laws, let US laws prevail over them. But that was not how we had reacted in 2013 when consular official Devyani Khobragade was arrested in New York. She was strip searched and thrown into a police lockup for having forced a housemaid into slave labor. She too had violated US laws, and the US clarified that her consular immunity did not give her diplomatic immunity from arrest for crimes committed on US soil. All that fell on Delhi's deaf ears. The Prime Minister office fumed, the Foreign Office fretted, the ministers frothed. India showed that hell has no fury like a diplomat scorned. The Foreign Secretary protested to the US mission head, blocked her travel to Nepal. The Lok Sabha Speaker shooed away a visiting congressional delegation. The Foreign Office confiscated US consular officers' I-cards, blocked their discounted alcohol imports. Taxmen sought paybooks of maids, cooks, and gardeners in diplomats' homes and teachers in the embassy school. cops started challaning speeding embassy cars. The fury shook the entire Chanakapuri, New Delhi's diplomatic enclave. Bulldozers rolled down its roads, knocking down every security barricade that the US mission had erected around its premises. It took weeks for Saner Council to prevail. The offender transferred to a post which gave her diplomatic immunity and sent back to India. No one wants such frenzy to be repeated. But the least India could have done now was to register a dignified protest and issue a mild warning that any US citizen found in India without papers could be similarly dealt with. No such law in India? Then make one, at least to make the boors in Washington know that India has cheek, one that would not turn at every slap. Thank you for listening.